Greetings, everyone. My name is H.B. Dlamini. I'll be assisting you with Public Law N6, and I'll request you to be in possession of your textbook by A. Kruger. You must also have a South African Constitution if you can, right? So now when we deal with public law, I would also urge you to please bear with me because this slide of module 1 is a bit comprehensive. Why? Because I want to keep on referring you to module 1 for the remaining 14 modules, okay? So from module 2 onwards, it will be a summary, okay? Right, let's get started now. The concept of law and constitutional law. What is law? Before we stick onto this concept, here's a scenario I want to give you. You're driving a car crossing a road robot. A traffic stops you. Traffic police stops you and issues you with a traffic summons. Why? It's because you have broken the law. Another scenario, you are walking around in town and you meet a person who was bullying you at school, at high school. Without any provocation, you remind him or her of the past and you assault that person. And the police comes and arrests you. Why is he arresting you? You have broken the rule of law. That is, in terms of the common law, it's a common law crime. Assault is a common law crime, right? So in both scenarios, the police came to you peacefully and orderly, explaining to you what you had just done and the reasons of issuing you with a traffic summons or the reasons of arresting you after assaulting your ex-bully and explaining your rights as a suspect because now you are being arrested, okay? So during this period, the police didn't do anything to you, just came and explained and did everything without any scope and donor, you know? Basically, law can be defined as a set of rules which govern the human behavior. It embodies the norms which the whole community recognizes as binding, and that those norms of conduct or rules of behavior that should be obeyed by the society at large. Disregarding these rules amounts to breaking the law, followed by a sanction or a punishment. So what are the characteristics of law? It's a set of rules or regulations that facilitate human interaction. It ensures order in society and also ensures that the law is applied consistently. These rules are applied or interpreted by institutions of the state with the assistance of the police. For example, after arrest by the police, they take you to the police station and afterwards you are taken to court. Those are institutions of the state. Law includes acts of parliament, right, which refers to the laws of nature, science, economy, and the rules of different types of sport. The state only considers the laws made by the legislatures, right? We've got a legislature in parliament, provincial, as well as on local government level. And they are all binding to the citizens of the state. The types of laws, which are the types of laws now? Check your diagram on page 3 of your books. You'll see on top it's written law. And on the left-hand side, it's international law, right? And on the right-hand side, it's national law. That is The international law, we're referring to the world laws, right? And the conventions of the world, right? And national law is referring to our laws in South Africa. They are referred to as municipal laws, not for the municipality. The municipal laws meaning laws, local laws, our laws in South Africa, right? We've got substantive laws under national laws, those are material laws. We've got adjective laws. We also, under subjective law, we also have public law as well as private law, right? I'm sure everyone will be familiar with these as we move along. Okay, now let's check here. In this module, we'll be looking at 4 types of these laws, right? It's public law which regulates a vertical relationship between the state as well as the legal subject, right? Private law also regulates now a horizontal relationship between a legal subject as well as the legal subjects, right? So the state itself can also be a party in private law. For example, if the state buys a land that is property from you, it means you are on equal level. So in other words, the state would be on the part of the legal subject and would be also a legal subject. That is a horizontal relationship, all right? Let's go to the divisions of private law now. The divisions of private law are as follows. We have the law of persons, right? What is meant by the law of persons? The law of persons regulates the birth, the private law status, as well as the private law status of the natural person, right? We've also got the family law. Family law is self-explanatory, it's just for the family. We've got the law of patrimony, which is divided into 4, right? Under the law of patrimony, we've got the property law. That is the law which deals more about property. You own a car, it's yours, ownership. You own a house, which is an immovable property, it's yours, right? And we also got the law of succession, right? The law of succession it's regarding the devolution of the estates of the deceased, right? Law of obligations, it refers to the performance, that is, actions, rights, and duties agreed upon in a contract. Then the last one under patrimony is law of intellectual property. Those are inventions. For example, a song. If you produce your Kwaito song, then nobody else is entitled to that song. Nobody can claim that that song is his or hers. Right. We're done with the 4 patrimony. Now we're moving to the law of personality. The law of personality is not the same as the law of persons, right? The law of personality deals with the right to your good name, right to your privacy, right? Another one is the indigenous law. Indigenous law are unwritten customs which are passed from generation to generation, right? Mercantile law, it's just commercial law. Okay, I'm sure you're all happy about these divisions. Okay, now let's move over to public law. Public law, which determines the extent of state authority, the relationship between organs of state, the relationship between state and its subjects, the state and other states, right? And the divisions of public law is administrative law, criminal law, procedural law, as well as constitutional law, right? I'm sure everybody is happy about this so far, because we must move over to the Constitution now, which is we didn't talk about the Constitution, right? The constitutional law is based on the South African Constitution 108 of 1996. So it determines the rules, the nature of the state, the arrangement and organization of state organs, that is bodies, the power and functions of state bodies, for example, the president, the ministers, etc., the division and authority of the various state organs, for example, the legislature or the legislative, which promulgates or makes laws, the executive, which administers the legislation and handle government affairs, for example, president and cabinet. And the last one is the judicial authority, which interprets and apply these legal rules. Okay? So I think we're going to end up here. Please go back to your book and interrogate all what we've been talking about in this module, because from module 2 we'll be cruising. Okay? So in closing, I would like to say I wish you all the luck during this COVID-19 lockdown. Stay safe. Module 2 slides will follow in due course. Bye-bye.